What's up? What's up?
Greetings.
How's everybody doing today? Thank you for taking time out of your day to listen to me. I'm Papa G,
Mother Richardson.
and we are here today to give you a perspective to make you think, okay? Because there are a lot of things that have been told to you that you have not actually taken the time to research and find out, is it really true? These are things that maybe your mother told you, your father told you, and you just accepted them, as fact, okay? And we want to make you walk away from this show saying, is what they said true? Should I go and look? Let me go look that up and see if that's true. All right. So before we get into it, first of all, I'd like to start out by giving a shout out to my boy Scandal Miles. I appreciate you turning me on to this drink because ever since you turned me on to this drink, you know, this is my little drinky here. And I'm a disabled veteran, so I was in a lot of pain. And I wanted to do today's show. You know, in a couple shots, I don't really drink alcohol, so a couple shots really got me to where I want to be. And I'm sitting here in La La Land. Mr. Horace Martin over there at Mirage Barbershop, where you are a reflection of us at Mirage. I want to shout out to my boy Horace. I want to shout out to the whole city of Amite.
Yeah, greetings.
Because Amite is a place where if you want Jesus Christ to be in charge, this is the place where you want to live. We are the reason why the state of Louisiana has not been put underwater, okay? I want to give a shout out to the hot seat, my boy Dreezy Drama over there. That music that you was listening to, the intro, that's one of his songs. He has so many on the YouTube. Listen, from Kenwood to Laplace, I put my money on Drama that he can whoop any rapper anywhere from Kenwood to Laplace. He is the king, all right? There is none in Louisiana in that territory that can beat him. He take all challenges, okay? He over there at the hot seat, okay, right here in Amite. All you got to do is pull up cold turkey, walk up in there, and bust your verse. I promise you, he will stop cutting hair, listen to you, destroy you, and let you go on down the road by yourself. Anyway, I'd like to give a shout out to my boy JLR because JLR is out there on the U.S. border in Texas, Phoenix, Arizona, Phoenix, in California. He is bringing you frontline information on what's going on with the immigration situation. If it wasn't for people like JLR, the news would be able to manipulate what it is we know and what it is that we see. But it's because of actual citizens. That's why I appreciate this venue that YouTube provides, where actual people can give an actual account from the area where they are instead of allowing one news media to try and pretend as though they're the master on what we need to or what we should or should not hear. Shout out to YouTube for that. I want to shout out to my boy Philly Dom over there in Philadelphia because I appreciate the way you take your time out to walk to the migrant shelters to point out what's going on in your city and how it's affecting, so that the news cannot take the narrative, steal the narrative, and be what's going on, but instead you are the one who are bringing it live from your city. Way to go. Big Hawk over there in Yonkers. I want to shout out to Big Hawk because, you know, this man is taking time to point out to you what's going on and how this is affecting the city next to him, okay? And also, he is a guardian angel in New York. And I remember when the guardian angels first came out, I was in New Orleans, and I remember looking at them bad brothers and saying, wow, they know how to do karate and all that mess, you know? And they wasn't taking no prison. They wasn't suffering no fools either. They meant they wanted to clean up New York. Last but not least, I'd like to give a shout out to Fresh and Fit because I raised my sons with that philosophy, you understand? And that's why my sons are strong men today. So you young men, keep doing what you're doing. Now, today's show is called The Begotten. I'm sorry. It's called Begotten. And the reason the show is called Begotten is because I want to point out the importance of creation and also give you a moment to understand that there is a different way to bring life into this world besides through the womb of a living woman. Okay? And so the word begotten it means of man. Sometimes of a man and a woman, but it is not childbirth. That is the distinction. You see, begotten is a spiritual way to create life. It does not require intercourse like what human beings do. Okay? That's why it's different words, because it has different meanings. So when the Father Jehovah created the Word, which is Christ, long before he created the heaven and the earth, there was no female entity there for him to copulate with that reproduced and could call the Christ her son. Okay? So I need you to get your mind there so that you can understand that we're not talking carnally here. We're talking above that plane. We're talking creation. We're talking hands and breath. He described it to you already so that you can understand how he reproduces, because we know how we reproduce. Don't lower him to our level. He is not us. Okay? I just wanted to put that out there.
Amen.
Now, it means to bring into existence, all right, by process of reproduction, to give rise to bring about, okay? Nowhere in there did I describe what will be described in the process for you and I, man and woman, to reproduce life. I just wanted to put that out there so that you don't be running around here thinking that Mary is Christ's mother. Okay? It's a vessel that was used. Okay? It wasn't no, he came in and laid with her, you know, and she conceived the child and all this kind of old foolishness. Okay? Now, that I've covered that, I want to answer the question that I asked on the Facebook. Why was Cain actually mad at Abel? Okay, Cain was the firstborn, but he was a twin. And Abel was born a second time from a second conception. And he was a twin. Now, this is for my people who understand that my Father Jehovah owns Africa, Asia, Europe, America, Russia, all of the places. Now, I know my American people, y'all have trouble with, oh, Gil, you done made him bigger than the King James Bible, because he is bigger than the King James Bible.
Who?
Jehovah.
Yes, he is.
And so I had people saying, well, Gil, you giving us a question that no man has the answer to. Yes, well-read, well-studied people do understand this what I'm about to tell you. And for those who wondering where did I get this information from, look up the book of Adam and Eve. Okay? Now, Cain was a twin. And his twin, she was far more beautiful than Eve. Okay? And Abel was a twin. And Adam decided he was going to marry Abel's twin to Cain and Cain's twin to Abel. And Cain really loved his twin. So to my people who answered the question and said Cain didn't have no love in him, Cain had a lot of love in him, which brought up his jealousy. You understand? He was guilty of the same sin as his father. The Bible continually repeats itself. Okay? So when you do read the books that's in other countries, you're going to see that those books back up what we have. The only thing they do is tell a more completed version than what we have been exposed to. So Cain went to Eve and he asked her, he said, do you know what Adam had planned, what Father had planned? And she was like, yeah, she was excited about it, happy about it. It don't say she was excited about it, she was happy about it. I'm adding that in there. You understand? So then the way it reads, the way it's told, he jumps on Eve, okay, and beat her up. Okay, then he goes to Abel and he asks Abel to take a walk with him. Now, Abel was a keeper of animals, and Cain was a tiller of the land. Okay, and Cain told Abel, I got this new land over here I've discovered. I want to show you. So that was understandable, and Abel followed his brother. They went so far as to Abel saying, Cain, how you taking me? I don't even recognize the rocks in this place. And Cain turned around and vented his frustration, his jealousy on his brother, and he started to smite him with his staff. His brother protested and asked him to not do this, because if he continued, that he would kill him. Cain proceeded with the process until he killed him, and he tried to bury his brother, but Abel was too young to be dead, so the ground kept spitting him out. He buried him 3 times. 3 times the ground spit him out. So Cain went on back, and when he went on back, the father asked him, say, what is this going on that? And then check this out. That the earth, he described the earth as a female. That she cried out to me. That she had to open her mouth to receive your brother's blood. Everything in the word has a gender. He created them male and female. So when he created the earth, he made the earth a female. See, I got to keep on coming at you like that because I don't want you to run past all this stuff too fast. You see what I'm saying? And it's clear right there in your book.
I don't read that in the 4th chapter, Genesis.
Well, that's fine. It tells you that she's, that when he says that the ground breathed, that the ground opened her mouth. Okay. Where we at?
Look in the 4th chapter.
Okay. Where does he kill his brother?
I think the 8th verse said, now Cain talked with Abel, his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel, his brother, and killed him.
Right.
Okay, what you looking for?
I'm looking past it where he's saying that am I my brother's keeper?
Yeah, that's the 9th verse.
Okay, let's get down to it.
Then the Lord said to Cain, where is Abel your brother? He said, I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper?
And he said, who told thee that thou hast... Wait a minute. I'm not even where you are. Where you at again?
I'm in the 4th chapter, Genesis,
4th
the 10th
chapter,
verse.
Genesis, 10th verse. Okay. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Came to the field, and the Lord said unto Cain and Abel, brother, and said, now here we go, and go down to verse 11, and it say, and now art thou cursed from the earth, which had opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand.
Yep.
So God is not mocked. I'm sorry, I wasn't prepared for that question for my sister to ask me. You know what I'm saying? But it's real. That's how come I let this all play out. You do agree that the earth is a female, right? It said that she opened her mouth, right?
Yeah, they are
outstanding.
Her
So like I was saying before, you know, like let me get back into the story, y'all. So now, he asked him. He said, "So, what's going on? You know where Because see, Abel was too young to be dead. All right? And he was like, what's going on? That the earth cried out to me, you know what I'm saying? She opened up her mouth and had to accept your brother's blood. Yeah, am I my brother's keeper? You know? So, now, we know Cain had children, right? We know Cain had children, right? We do know that, right?
Yes, it's right in the 16th verse.
So, if
yes.
Cain had children, where he got that woman from? Okay? Because he took his sister and left away from there with them. And that's who he had children with. You understand me? I'm well read. I'm well read. I'm well read. Okay? They wasn't just the only two, just Cain and Abel. All right? But the man here in America would try to have you believe. And look what Cain said. To show you that it wasn't just them on earth. Cain said, well, God, if I leave away from here, people gonna see me and they gonna surely kill me for what I did. And he said, well, I'm gonna put a mark on you so that anybody that see you won't kill you. Now, how can there be people, how can there be somebody gonna kill him if it's just them? How can it be somebody that's gonna kill him if it's just them? It's because Adam was created to create a bloodline so that Jesus could come, because man was so wicked. You understand me? And so they had to make a way. But see, they don't tell you that in the word. They try to make you think, well, in the book, the America don't. They try to make you think that, you know, Adam and Eve was the first and there wasn't no people before them. You understand me? And it was, because Adam and Eve ain't birthed none of them people that was in Sodom and Gomorrah. Listen, that Papa G, I'm telling you, I be on my, I ain't gonna, you know, on this show, but on other shows, you know, I don't be lying. You understand me? That white man slick. You understand me? Cain children is slick, but I don't play with them. I don't play with them. I'll step on their neck. You understand me? Nah, we gonna run over here. You all right, sister?
Oh, you already know my, you know me where I stand. Go ahead.
Right. So,
you already know my opinion.
Timothy, chapter 3, verses 1 through 5. You know, talking about disrespectful people. All right. And I'm bringing that up because in order for you to be able to stay in the spirits that he wants you to stay in, you got to stay away from temptation. If you know so-and-so is a clown and gonna motivate you to make him turn a flip, smack him and make him turn a flip, then you are supposed to stay away from those type of people and stick around the kind of people that are like-minded like you, okay? So that you can get stronger on your journey. This is a hard journey that we on, all right? Now, I want to take this time to describe Adam from my journeys and my understanding. Okay? Adam, and this is, and listen, I'm hoping to stimulate some people to get motivated and say, you know what? He is bigger than King James. You know what I'm saying? And then what any one man can try and put in one book. And accept that, and then really grow in your journey, because when you really develop a relationship with him one-on-one, he's going to grow your faith in a manner that, I'm telling you, most people not going to even want to come around you with that foolishness. Okay? And you see, the way it's written and the way it's done like that is to run our men away from the word. Because it's put in a manner and in a text where it's fair to them, where they have to just be passive and docile and take it and bend over some more. And that ain't what the Father Jehovah wants from no man to be doing. Okay? We in charge. If you in charge, that means the other people do the bending over. Don't mess with me. Now, so Adam had a glorious appearance because he was formed by the holy hands of Jehovah. The angels saw his face like the sun, and so were his eyes. His body was like crystal, and the angels bowed to him. Adam was created in Jerusalem. He had a crown of glory sat over his head and given dominion over the animals and all the earth. Adam had power over all that was on the earth, and so did Eve. If Adam was made out of crystal, what was she made out of in order for her to be his mate? I described Adam, but for all of you chauvinistic cats that thought that I was going to let you get away with it and be standing up there boasting, Eve was the exact same way. You understand me? And she had the exact same dominion. Stop trying to act like my father Jehovah liked the males more than he liked the females. Stop doing that. You had me believing that foolishness my whole life. That's the kind of trap that prevents a man from being able to open up and really share his life with his lady. That's the kind of foolishness that prevents a man from being able to really just bond and be one with his family. Okay? You are not superior to her in a manner where you rule over her in a point to where you can beat her up and do all that kind of stuff. You are her protector, her provider. Now y'all hear it coming. We're going to do a little pause for the little train. Let's go ahead on and give it this little old just do. Now, Miss Adrian called Jackson on the Facebook. Okay, she does wonderful work. If you know her husband, Broderick Jackson, get in touch with him. Okay, they do wonderful work. I'm gonna get them to do me a metal cooler next. Make sure that your container is made out of metal, or when you get in touch with them, they're more than capable of getting a container for you. All right, support black business. Now, I don't ever want to promote or give off any inference that man has some authority that woman don't have. Because the word don't say that. That's just what I was taught in that building made by the hands of man. But as I start to read the word, I learn, you understand, that we're a team, we have a role to play, but we are equals. And that has made so much more of the difference in my life. And it's going to make so much more of the difference in any young man who's listening to me live right now, to know that you don't have a helpmate, you have a helpmeet, which means that you have your equal. Swallow that, if you will. Now we're going to move on to our show, The Ties That Bind Us.
Amen.
Okay, in The Ties That Bind Us, you know, we're talking about the things that we, as men and women, agree upon and have no disagreement at all. So we agree that we love our children.
Yes. Amen.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We agree. You know, I don't know, no parents, even bad parents say they love their children, right? So whether you love them in the right way or the wrong way, we agree on that. We agree that our job as a parent, we take very seriously. We want to make sure that our young ones grow up, you know. We agree that we want our children to bury us.
Absolutely.
I think that the worst thing in the world could have been that I would have grown up as a young man and had to bury one of my parents before adulthood. I haven't had to experience that. I thank the Lord that I haven't. And for those that have, you know, I'm so sorry for you.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm gonna talk a lot about those parents that bury their children. We agree that we want our children to have good lives, and in their adult lives, we want it to be good, and we also agree that we want grandchildren. So far, everything that I've said, we mutually agree on, we don't argue about.
That's correct.
It's right.
Mutual agreement.
And we need to focus on these things because they're not focused on enough.
Absolutely.
Okay? And these are the things that we have to hold on. Listen, you're not perfect, and he not perfect either. Or you're not perfect, and she not perfect either. okay? So you done made these babies.
Yeah.
I don't care if Ray Ray or Christina look better. I don't care. You got to ride with the one that these babies don't care. And you got to care enough to say, this is me in recreation, and I'm not going to sell it out.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk in depth about the way you make the family feel, the abandoned family feel. We're going to talk about that today. We're going to get into a deep show, so please bear with us, stay with us, all right? If it's been slow for you, but I think we've been having a little fun, all right? You know, we all agree that it takes a male and a female to create a baby. Right? Right.
Yes, definitely.
If you want
She and he.
If you want a dog, you need a boy and a girl.
She and he.
If you want a cow,
Male and female.
if you want a horse,
Male and female.
if you want pigs,
As far as I know, male and female. She. That's it.
that's right.
He and she. Not
That's
he,
right.
She.
That's right. We understand what you mean. We understand what you mean.
We ain't talking about the top she and
No,
the bottom he. No, sir.
Lord.
He and she. Two different entities.
Let me explain something to you.
Yes, indeed.
Okay? There are anomalies in everything. Bo Jackson, Jerry Rice, Steve Young, you know? But they are not the norm. They are the anomaly because they're rare. So when you get the people born like what, you know, Mother Richardson just finished talking about, you are the anomaly. You are not in the majority of what people experience.
Unique individuals.
You know, so, you know, I'm going to leave that alone.
Yeah, me too.
We do not want our children to have children while they are children.
Amen.
You see, all of us want to protect our babies.
Yes.
None of us want our 10, 11, 12-year-old to come to us and tell us, I got something I need to tell
Yeah,
you.
robbed of their innocence. Yeah.
You know, I'm so glad that my children had enough respect for me to let my hair turn colors before they started to anoint me with children. Because I was a wild child when I was younger. I'm telling you, when I was a young man, I wasn't ready to be grand nothing. That's why I'm Papa G right now. I still ain't ready to be grand nothing. You know? Now, I believe that these are things that we agree on, that we don't disagree on. And I believe that no one can come and say, hey, no, it's not nothing. This is covering today's section of the things that we have in common, that we do not disagree on. I hope that you have been keeping account of the things that we have that we don't agree on, because maybe you're having trouble in your marriage. Maybe you're having trouble and you're trying to figure out how you're going to hold on, and you don't realize because you haven't been focused on what we agree on. You've only been focused on the negative, what we don't agree on. So then you're only looking at what's bad. You're going to make a bad decision.
Definitely.
Okay? We don't need to do that. All right. So we're going to change topics now. And we're going to talk about, as men and women, let's recognize the destruction to our babies we cause by having intimate relationships outside of our homes.
Oh, God.
You want to take that one first, or you want me to start it out?
I'll let you start.
Okay. You see, as a young man, I would watch as my father would leave the house. He would say something like, I'm going to do a monkey hustle. I'm going to play dominoes. Going to see a man about a dog. To me, that was all cute little things. later I understood that it was the players' code for how we was gonna get in them streets. See, my mama is a good lady. God bless you, Rosemary Muse. So my mama didn't make my daddy suffer the consequences of doing the no-no. As a result, I didn't understand what could happen to me once I got a wife and children and I went out here and did the no-no. Because you see, my mother, she would fuss at my father. He would sit in his chair looking at the TV, putting on something he wanted to see, and he would sit there and he would listen to her fuss. And then after she would almost finish, she'd say, "Are you listening to me, Teddy?" And he'd say, "Yeah, Rose, I'm listening to you." And she'd say whatever she had to say, and we'd be in there listening to her. And then after she finished saying her piece, he'd come in here and say, "Well, hey, listen, y'all, I'm about to go take a ride. Let your mama cool off. I'll be back." So growing up, I figured this is the way you handle this, you know? So he paid all the bills. He took care of everything in the house. You know, we went on vacation once, twice a year. And I never wanted for anything. I didn't really, like, I was into lifting weights. I was into music. So there wasn't no material things I wanted. We wasn't like the children of today. Video games wasn't as prominent as they were. Cell phones, all that kind of thing wasn't prominent. So we were into, like, I was into getting ready to go to college, but I didn't want to go to college, so I was going to the military. You know, life was more hands-on, all right? And I didn't understand the consequences of those actions. And so many of us are sowing those seeds to our sons and our daughters. And we have mates that are, see, my mother is a soldier for the Lord. You know what I'm saying? My mom is a child of Christ, but understand my mother is a warrior. Okay? She not one of them ones who sit there and be talking about turn the other cheek. Rosemary Muse believe if you hit me, I'm gonna make sure you don't hit nobody else. You understand? So I got with a nice lady. Nothing wrong with my first wife. The problem came in when I started wanting to do the monkey hustle. When I wanted to start to go see a man about some dogs. You understand me? Doing all that foolishness that I saw, that I understood these was the fake story, cover stories you give for this bull jive. And then it happened. What happened? I lost my damn children because I was out here, young soldier, okay, going to the barracks, bouncing on other young soldiers. When I should have had my butt back in my government quarters, you know what I'm saying, taking care of my business. All I knew was, at that time, that a man provide and protect, okay? He didn't show me the other part. She didn't show me the other part. My ex-wife showed me the other part when she took my children and left. That was a pain I can never describe to you. I actually had to go into the mental institution for 3 days to get control of myself. Because I didn't understand how much I enjoyed being a father until it was taken away from me, because nobody had really given me a real appreciation for the seat, the respect, the honor, the love, the pride, everything that comes with it. I was feeling all these things, but I thought that other thing was my privilege too. You know what my ex-wife said? I'll never forget. I've been divorced from that woman, Lord knows, over 30 years. I was a young man. She said, I would have followed you to the ends of this earth. I would have walked behind you until my feet was no more, and then I would have kept on walking behind you. If my mama would have told me you did something wrong to me, I wouldn't have believed her. I can't believe you hurt me. That's what happened when we neglect this role of being honest about the bullshit that we do. And so I made sure that my sons understood to not be whores and to understand the pain, not the honor that come with being a whore. Yeah, you can have 5, 6 different women. You just a lonely man. All you got is buku women to skeet into. You can't be seen with this one. You can't be seen with that one. All you can be seen with is your dudes. Y'all know the code. Y'all know the truth. You understand? And by me being a semi-decent looking fella, I didn't have to pay for it. By me being a pretty well-educated man, it's a million hood rats that I was supposed to be helping and bring to the Lord, but instead I was bringing to my bed. So I'm here to break the misinformation. I'm here to bust the game. You know, a real man don't cheat on his wife. If he do, he sure enough is going to repent, turn it over, and never do that again. I'm telling you, I'm so blessed that I have the relationship that I have with my children. My children are the ones who finished raising me the rest of the way by showing me that it mattered to them that I hurt their mama. You understand? See, that's the part of the game these cats ain't telling you. You see? That's the part of the game that when you go back to them and you hurting, they ain't got no real answers. You know what they gonna do? They gonna offer you this and say, come on, man, get fucked up, man. Don't sit there and dwell on that shit. Lord, please, you know, forgive me for cussing. But that's what they gonna say. All right? This is not a children's show. Okay? Then after they offer you alcohol.
Mature adults only.
Yes. After they offer you alcohol, you might need something a little stronger. Because I promise you, I'm going to tell it. As men, you're not prepared to be separated from your children when they're little. And you don't see their little fingernails no more. You don't see their little teeth no more. You don't hear their little voices no more. You don't see their little feet and their little stuff running around and, you know what I'm saying, them in La La Land and imaginary time where you can go back to saying some old stuff and just be the greatest of all. And tell the truth. Tell the truth. Because that's what we got to start doing. We got to start turning to our children, you know what I'm saying, and tell them the truth. Say. Worst thing in the world I ever did was cheated on your mom and lost you. Don't do that to yourself. Anything we can do to break the curse of child support, to break the curse of family court, to break the curse of all that the government is doing to throw enmity in marriage, to prevent successful marriage and promote boys to be girls and girls to be boys. You understand? We have to stand up, men. We have to tell the truth. And we can't sit here and act like if the shoe was on the other foot. If my first wife had went out and cheated on me like I had went out and cheated on her, as a young man, I don't know, I probably would have been mean and not let her see the children as much as she should have seen the children. Because that would have probably been the only thing I could do to really hurt her. I probably would have, you know, said bad things. I'm human like they human. Because I'm learning that we got the doggone same dominion at the same time. So with a different mind and a different pair of eyes, you're going to have a different view. That's called maturity. You know, sister, how do you feel about when, you know, it's the person has an intimate relationship outside of the marriage and it destroys the marriage? You know, you take away that income, the absence of the father, you know, in the home. You know, how you feel about that?
From personal experience, it leaves you in a blacker abyss, because vows were taken. When you take your vows, you don't think about cheating. You don't think about not being apart to death, you know? And then when that happens, you have to rearrange your whole life, because you become the sole proprietor not only of yourself, being the breadwinner, the protector. You got to stand up and be the man for the children, you know, the father and the mother. And that's not easy to do. But infidelity does happen. It doesn't have to result in divorce. That's why we have prayer. That's why we have mercy. But in the event that the marriage does not last long, remember the children. Put our children first, you know. You can't hold on to a person that does not want you to hold on to him. And that person lets you know, male or female, that they do not want to be married anymore, have the responsibility of spouseship, fathership. Let them go. Let them go. Why hold on to something that is not beneficial? But at the same time, you have to remember the children and how their emotional well-being would be affected by that. Because my children were. Their father was not in their life at all. And my children have lived with that, but there's always something inside of them will make them feel incomplete, because you need both parents there, especially the father, because he's the role model for the daughter and the son. On the aspect of the daughter, he is what she needs to look for when she decides to say, I do. She needs to marry a man that is faithful. She needs to marry a man that's a breadwinner. She needs to marry a man that's loving and gentle, quick to listen and slow to speak. But above all, she needs to marry a man that fears God. Now, if she doesn't have that in her life, when she gets of age and she marries, she's going to marry the first thing that she sees, and guess what? That starts all over again. And the same with the son. If the son doesn't have the same kind of role model and he's not strong-minded, he's just another number. He's just another stat. That's all they're going to hear for the rest of his life. One bar opening, one bar closing. So this is real. If you're in situations like that and the family will not be together, put your children first. And if you and her can't come to an agreement, don't do all that stuff in front of your children. And above all, do not make them children feel that they're unworthy of parenting, because they're not. These children are your first fruits. They should be the fruit, the apple of your eye. So if y'all having a disagreement and you called it off, don't do that in front of the children. It's a way to do everything. Go out, have dinner, sit down and tell the children, you know, that we won't be married anymore, but we will both be in you all's life till death do us all part. That's how you handle that. Stay in the children's life. Forget about how you feel about your spouse and vice versa. Do what's best for your children and not what's best for you.
All right, well said, well said, well
Thank
said.
you.
You know, we're going to move on to another topic, and we're going to talk about something that, as a young man growing up, I quite often saw and I admired and I really miss, and I wish that it come back. That's the reason I'm bringing it up. So, do not destroy someone else's home. I remember when females would say, girl, don't mess with him.
Yeah.
he got a girlfriend, or
Yeah.
he just had a baby.
Warn you.
You know what I'm saying? Something like that. They would do what we call busting the game.
Oh yeah, wide open.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what happened to that? How did it change to see, girl, I see you about to take so and so, man.
Yeah.
You know? Come on, man.
Keep your spare tire now, man. That's nonsense.
A spare tire.
Yeah, keep a spare tire.
Look.
Trade that 0 in for a hero.
You know?
We don't fight anymore for what's right.
Once you make your choice, the choice is made.
Yeah.
We're grown. You understand? I'm more than sure there are a lot of people back in the 20s and the 30s and the 40s who married some cat or some girl, and Lord, they hated the fact that they did it. And we heard the stories of those people starting whole other families.
Yeah.
But you didn't hear about them people getting divorced. He might have had a whole nother family on the other side of town. That's right.
You know, and I'm not judging nobody, to each his own. But divorce is so common, it's like changing your drawers now.
Please. We got to stop with it.
That's not God.
The only people benefit from divorce is the government.
The government. Getting your money.
Well, they get your children.
Yeah, that too.
Because the situation that you're going to put those children in.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. If you could just say, you know what? I got 11 more years for them kids get grown.
Yeah.
But 11 more years, I'm tell you what, if things ain't got right, I'm leaving you. I mean,
Support
come on, man. What happened to compromise? You stood in front of God and you said, till death do us part.
Yeah.
So now you about to say, okay, it's not about to be till death because I ain't going to kill her. And she's saying it's not about to be till death because I ain't going to kill him. Unless.
Wow.
Now listen, now everybody got to defend themselves.
Yeah.
I want this to be a well-rounded show.
Yeah.
So while I'm just running off into a little tangent here and I'm talking narrow-mindedly, I don't want y'all to think that I think that I'm talking about the whole instance, because there's been a time or two where somebody might have to go ahead on and do away with you. I'm sorry that happened, you did, but you put yourself in that water.
You put yourself in that situation.
So like he said, forgive me, Father, he pulled me in that water. Yeah. So anyway, I move on, I digress. So, you know, I could see if the children got, you know, a certain age, they grown, they in college.
Yeah.
And, you know, you say, you know what, you've been a clown, you've been a monkey.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? For 30-some-odd years. And I had to put up with it because we had them children. You see what I'm saying? But now them children is gone on, and they're doing their thing, and everybody's stable. And guess what? We're going to have Thanksgiving at 2 different houses this year.
That's it.
I hate that it happened that way.
But sometimes it does.
And people can at least understand it. You see what I'm saying? Because my parents were married like 30-some-odd years before they got divorced, and it messed us up. We ain't recovered. We ain't recovered.
You don't.
We are grown people.
Yeah.
And we have not, that shattered my family.
Yeah.
We no longer have the family home that we grew up in.
The fun, the freedom,
you got to think about what all you doing to these children when these young people when you do that.
You blow their minds. That's what you do.
Some of these people is looking at this as their inheritance.
Yeah.
And you wipe it out because you want to go lay down with Sister Gooddraws. You wipe it out because you want to go lay down with Long Dong Wong Chong.
Yeah.
Brother Big Meat.
Yeah. Big time San Francisco.
You know?
Your children got to go to games by themselves. Looking to the right, they see their classmate with both parents. And looking to the left, both parents, you there with no parent. Come on, y'all.
Oh, they remember when both your people was there and they constantly asking where your daddy at.
Yeah.
You understand me? And now you got to tell them my mom and daddy going through a divorce.
Yeah. How do you feel about it? I hate it, but there's nothing I can do.
And they trying to make it be normal for y'all.
Yeah, and that's not...
You know what I'm saying? Children, young people who listening to this, hold on to that hurt. That hurt is right. They ain't supposed to be getting no divorce. They ain't supposed to be getting no divorce.
Just to do it, not at all. Because you can't. Because you see a yard that's greener, guess what? You gonna have to cut that grass too. Let me
And if your mama been beating your daddy up, tell your daddy to lock the door when he go to sleep at night.
That'd be your best bet to sleep outside in that car. Better yet, go to the basement and lock the door.
Now listen, on a serious note, I had to pop that joke, but to the females who can look back and say honestly, I should have given them children to their father. Do not remain quiet. If you can be honest, ladies, Please speak up. I know you thought I was going to leave that on just the women, huh? And to you men that can honestly look back and say, man, I could have done better by giving my children that money instead of buying them polos.
Yeah.
You know, taking old girl on that trip.
Yeah, more
buying that fancy whip.
Yeah.
All of the things
Invest
that you
in your
did.
Children, man.
You know what I'm
Come
saying?
on.
If you can honestly look back and know, man, speak up, don't be quiet.
Yeah.
Don't let the
Tell
young
the
men.
truth.
Right. Don't let the young men, you sitting in the barbershop.
Marry that woman.
And you hear a grown man say, hey, to the young boys, y'all protect your virginity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Try to save it till you get married.
That's it.
Don't open your fool mouth.
Yeah.
And try to tell them boys, shit, man, hey, go ahead on and get your son, boy.
No.
Get your son on your belt, boy. Yeah, boy. Don't do that old foolishness,
do that,
man. Don't sell them dudes a bad bill of goods. Listen at Papa G.
Destroying the family value.
Listen at Papa G. Check me out here, because I'm being real serious right now. I didn't know how to play football. Then I learned how to play football. But the only way to get good in football is to practice football. Eventually, I got good in football. You say, Papa G, why you talking about football? Well, because you see, you got females out here that's out here practicing on men. And so they good. You see what I'm saying? So then when you go and lay with her, she going to be better than your wife will ever be. Because your wife, she ain't out here practicing. Her mama got her going to Sunday school, going to church, going to Bible study. You understand me? She in the house being accounted for. She ain't got nothing to practice on. She ain't even thinking like that. So then here you come and marry her because you know like she a good girl. She gonna give you good kids. Everybody proud of that. Then you get in the bed and you know what Sister Good Draws could do. How she make your toes lock up like yeah, you understand me? Have you laid in the bed, froze up like this here, you dig? So then you lay up there and you're like, man, you ain't doing it right. She is doing it right. She doing it the right that she knows. She ain't been practicing. You understand? It's your fault you went out here and got with a professional. You don't be expecting your lady to be able to pop it like it's hot, like the little old girl that's doing what the different thing. You see what I'm saying? And so please, refrain from those type of women. That way, when you get married, you won't have those expectations. You won't have that hunger. You won't have that knowledge, which will make you be dissatisfied with what your wife gave you, and you'll go out here in the street, you understand, and cheapen and demean yourself, and you got all these low-rate ass men, excuse my language, God forgive me for cussing, but you got all these low-rate men who were going to pat you on the back and, oh boy, good job, you did, I see you, big dog, oh, look at him, he a boss, he a boss, he out here handling them, huh? No, you out here making yourself worth the value of a slice of bread. You're throwing away all your generational wealth. You got 10, 12 years worth of work built in with this woman, and to get in between one woman's legs, you about to throw it all away.
Okay, I'm going to say something here.
Please do.
I'm back to stand, y'all.
Back it up.
Let me back it up for you. Stop. Love and lust are two different things.
Tell them.
So what if a little something is being done different? When she gets through with you, her or him, and they married, who they going back home with? See, love is what Tina say, what's love got? What did love have to do with you cheating? What did love have to do with you having these outside children? And if your spouse is not performing up to your expectations, big dog, or big queen, tell them. If y'all want to hang from the chandelier, you married, that's your business. But you exchange vows. Love is not a physical thing. Love is not sex. The retarded of people do that. So we're going to do, animals do that. All marriage is legalized sex. Sex is a game that God created, and only he knows how to play it. We fail at that. A lot of, like you said, you got a lot of bed hoppers. What you're looking for is not a pot of gold at the end of that rainbow. What's the difference? Doing the same thing with just a different body. Small, medium, large. Some of the parts shifted a little, but what you're doing different. You don't have control over your flesh. That's what that is. That's called evil concupiscence. too passionate, no control over your passion. And that's abnormal behavior. The best feeling in the world to a woman is laying in the bed with her own husband under his arms. Nothing compares to that feeling. And if one man can't do it, 10 to 15 can't.
Hey, now.
I'm being real about it.
Hey, now.
Now that's my glory. Being in bed with my own husband, all cuddled under his big old black, brown, strong arms. That's a turn on for me. I wouldn't trade that in for nothing in the world. I'm being real about it.
Black man.
That's what I said.
So now we're going to move on to this next segment.
Yes, sir.
And it's called Government Care.
See.
From the cradle to the grave.
My God.
Okay. And I grew up in a situation where I saw this. I grew up partially a little while in the St. Bernard housing project. And in that system, you have a bunch of single women who all have children for different men, who all are being sponsored by the government. So the government gives them a comfortable place to stay, all right? Gonna give them money for food, gonna give them money for different things, right? And then now, so they have like a layer. And now you got this man who, he don't have nothing. He live in the project with his mama, okay? So he see you got a project, and then he gonna come, and now he got a place to stay because you and him kicking it. Nobody never taught him what it meant to be a man, so he don't know he's supposed to go out here and get a job and get a place to stay and you know, have all these things, and then have you to come and stay with him. Instead, he go from one project to the next project, okay? You got all the food money, you got all the bill money. You know what I'm saying? Just like his mama had all the food money, his mama had all the bill money. So he just used to being taken care of by females. He's not a provider. He's not a protector. Okay? And the ladies in this community, I'm sorry, and I use that term very loosely, I just don't want to deplore my show. So the females in that community, they do not accept any responsibility for feeding themselves, housing themselves, clothing themselves. And they raise these people with the same mentality, that this is free money, you understand? And so who benefits off this? Because, you know, the government has only got a contract with her for 17, 18 years. But this little kid that you had is gonna live to be at least 60, 50, 60. You know, and that's the government's motivation. That's that free labor they looking forward to. And a lot of times, they don't even have to pay the whole amount of time, because a lot of time, by the time these kids get 15, 16, 17, they get life sentences. So they get a return on their investment real soon. You got to think about that. You understand? This is why I have asked that we join forces, men and women, and we say we're no longer going to deal with the courts, the attorney general, child support, family court, none of that.
Yeah.
As a culture, we're going to say, men, you're responsible for that damn baby.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
What that mean is you go bring that baby by his mama house if he ain't doing what he's supposed to do. You understand me? And I bet you his mama gonna call him. Okay? And we have to change it. What's being said here in our culture. We have to say, you know, Daddy, that's your baby, that's your responsibility. Okay? And when we see a man got 2 kids by Cheryl and 2 kids by Tina and he ain't doing nothing, we gotta stop being cool with him.
Yeah.
You dig?
Disassociate.
We gotta stop being cool with him. That's the kind of dude that he asks you for a ride somewhere and you be like, no. That's the type of dude you don't invite to the birthday party.
That's it.
You see what I'm saying?
Get your job, dog. Take care of your kids.
We have to really stand up for manhood in the black culture. All right? Because these people is damn sure working hard to destroy it.
Yeah.
I'm listening to that young boys when I'm talking to them. Talking about the responsibility of a man being too much. They're not going to pay all some woman bills. And if you ask any man in America, would you let a woman get you pregnant? They all gonna tell you no. They all gonna tell you no. So you wouldn't let a woman help you bring another one of you into the world. No. But she'll do that for you. So she willing to do something for you, you ain't willing to do for yourself.
Stop doing that.
But she ain't good enough for you to pay her bills. But I hit you in your head, boy. I'm glad you ain't my son. I'll turn you a flip.
My son know better.
My sons are kings.
That's it.
You understand me? Franklin and Devontae Muse, them boys is kings. You understand me? Gil Paul Muse III, all right? And my oldest son, Mr. Kenny Ray Muse. My sons are kings. You understand me? They don't play no games. They wouldn't do no stuff like that. They make a baby, you better believe they're going to be responsible for it. Just like I'm responsible for them and I'm responsible for my children, you know?
No better.
Now, listen here. See, this is the game that the government play. They create they create situations where the family will receive more if the father is not in the home.
Absent. Amen.
You know? And that's a cold-blooded thing to do. You gotta think about it. If the daddy not in the home, they're gonna give her Section 8. They're gonna give her buku food stamps. They're gonna give her free medical for her children. All of these is things that a man with a job provide. Okay? They're gonna give her. Oh, and if she helped them, they're gonna go after the father and persecute him and take what money he got. So you got complete destruction of the family, and you got the government standing in as the great savior, sowing enmity in the marriage. Why don't you just say, we're helping the family, so we did this here, none of y'all owe us nothing.
Yeah, that's it.
No enforcement. We helped an American family. That's it. Because they need to keep us divided. You know, the government makes handouts more than what you can earn, so they can entice you and entrap you. What you feel about that?
I agree. Stop being slaves to fear. No longer be a slave to fear. There's a cultural, governmental, and social media warfare going on right now. And we have to stand up and become a family again. These are just satanic devices to keep you all blinded to what's really going on. The black families are being replaced every day with our eyes wide open. You can't afford to be on your own, so we have these make-believe families, these blended families. You have to lie to keep your support, and that's not good. If you make $1 more, you cut off. You are cut off, so therefore if you cut off, you barely making enough because you have to continue to make the amount you're making to keep their help. Stop that. Do like I did. I worked 3 jobs. I married early, became a single mother early. I kept a roof over my children's head. I kept clothes on their back, food on the table, shoes on their feet. And I didn't have no other man over my children. Praise God. I didn't do none of that stuff. I worked and provided. Work and provide for your children. If you can't do it together, do it apart. It can't be done. I'm an example. Work, work, work. Work while it's day. When night cometh, you won't be able to work. You grow in grace, not haste. This is not helping the black families. If you're dependent on them, in situations you need their help. But you know you're doing better financially, cut the chains off. You don't need assistance anymore when you're making enough money. That's all I'm saying. We're not knocking the help, but we're only knocking it if you're abusing the system. Don't abuse the system.
Did you, did you file for child support?
I filed for child support and never got a dime.
Wow.
The children's father didn't take care of them at all. Didn't visit, didn't do anything a father's supposed to do. But I was blessed with brothers and a father and uncles and male cousins that helped gear and mentor my son,
Excellent.
Alexander O'Neill Richardson McCoy.
Excellent.
So, you know, I'm speaking for experience, not being opinionated. I'm just telling you, young women, you can do it. Become living sacrifices. Keep your legs closed, your mind open, and let's make this happen. Let's help grow grow the black families back together again. It can be done.
Excellent. Listen, I 100% agree with you.
It can be done.
I feel like, hey, listen, you when a man steps away from his family, okay, I'm never gonna be a hypocrite. I felt like it was my responsibility to continue to pay her bills and take care of what she needed to take care of. So as a result of that, I wound up being homeless. You understand me? I'm keeping it real with you. My children will tell you this. My family will tell you this, because you see, this is another thing that pointed out to me a big separation in me and my family, is that I had people who, even females in my family, who had children from men and understood that it's paramount that this man help them with their children. They saw that I was giving her everything that I had, okay, to make sure that the bills stayed paid, that everything was going right, until she found her another man. Now, when she found her another man, I was no longer obligated to pay those bills, because she had found someone to move on with. You understand me? And so then I was only obligated to take care of my daughter.
That's right.
Okay? Me and my children, we own business together. And I don't collect one penny, and every month they get paid.
Thank God.
And they get paid handsomely.
Stewardship.
So, you know, for men, there are some men out here, FA need to be on child support.
Yeah.
Because you a DOGGY.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
The kids didn't ask to come here.
And you, but they ain't done you nothing. It's the woman that you might be upset with. Okay, she done you wrong. She found Mr. Big Bone.
Took it out on the kids.
He got big bank, big bone, and a bigger home.
Yeah.
So she left you alone. I'm sorry. All right? Or maybe it's the other way around.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He left you because she had a better cooter. You know what I'm saying? A sister Wooder. And he just wanted to get down with that crown. Listen, whatever the situation is, still understand your obligation to them children don't change.
Come first. That's right. Easy come, easy go.
Nah.
And 5-minute thrills don't even last. But let me shut up.
5 minutes, you're going to lose her.
Let me shut up, because I'm about to go there. Let me shut up. Shut up, Mother Richardson. Shut up.
And then you're forced, the government is forcing the citizens to submit and accept help, but living by their rules.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm talking about here is
enslavement.
Basically.
It is.
Basically. Because if you're doing bad and I want to help you and I don't want you to come back for help again, and let's say I start giving you $1,500 a month.
Yeah.
And then you get a job.
Yeah.
If I don't want you to come back, it would seem like my policy would be that I'm going to keep helping you for 6 months, 8 months while you got this job.
That's it.
For you to stack these checks.
Yeah, there you go.
Then after you stack these checks for 6 months, 8 months, maybe a year, is when I'm going to go ahead on and separate you from the program.
Close the case, yeah.
Because I understand that we have stabilized you.
Yeah, you financially stable.
But why would I, as soon as you can make $1 to be able to pay something,
the case.
Pull my help away?
Yeah.
You ain't got no guarantee on this job. You've been on this job 4 months, and then them people
5
decide
years.
they're going to let you go.
Yeah, then what?
But you off the program.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So now you got to go reapply to the program.
All over again.
You can't get right back in.
Come on now.
See, that's the trap.
Re-entering
And they
slavery.
know you don't want to go through that period where you was dependent on that job, and people let you go. Now you can't feed your babies.
Yeah.
So they know you ain't going to get up and go and try to get no job because you don't want to go through that. It's better to just sit still and take that.
Yeah. Yeah, scrutiny. Wake up, people. See what's
Don't
really
be
going
dumb.
on. Come on.
Don't be dumb.
Open up your blinded eyes.
And all this does is just strips away personal responsibility, accountability, or any of the desires that cause adults to be good, wholesome people.
That's it.
Because once you got a person who you paying all their bills, you giving them money for food and everything, they ain't got to work, they ain't got to do nothing. What they gonna do with all that idle time?
Come on now.
What they gonna do with all that idle time? Everybody else going to work from 8 to 5 in a day.
Busting their tail every day.
They sitting at home, got to watch Jerry Springer.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you got them stuck in a situation where it's detrimental to their health to try to better themselves.
Mindset, yeah. Got their minds on lockdown.
Let me tell you something. Get off that Democrat plantation. Black people. We don't need food stamps and welfare like they trying to promote.
We don't.
We don't need Section 8 like they trying to say, I give you my word. If the government turned around tomorrow and say there is no more such thing as food stamp, no more such thing as welfare, no more such thing as Section 8, black people ain't going to sit around and watch their children die.
Sure ain't.
We ain't going to sit up and watch our children starve. We're going to get up and go out here and find out what I need to do to get $1.
That's it. I was working with all that, so I know what I'm talking about. Once that closed down, you're going to have to pick up an extra job. That's it. You want to pay full price on that rent, not half. When you stop getting your assistance, been there, done that. And I thank God he gave me the wisdom to do it. I took care of my children. It wasn't easy, but I did it. You know, sometimes we put in situations.
So did you get your child support?
Never got the child support.
Never got the child support?
Never.
Did it all on your own?
Did it all on my own with God's help, my family's help. Never got it. Never got it.
You don't force nobody to take care of their job. You just do your job. Because when it all come in and it all come out, they going to ask, did you take care of your responsibility? And what if you busy pointing the finger at somebody else and you got a plank in your eye? Believe you me, it's going to show. And they're going to be like, hey, listen here. You ain't got time to be trying to throw bricks at Brother Johnson. You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't do what you were supposed to do. So we're going to move on to another segment in the show. And this is very personal with me. This is inspired by a great mentor of mine, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I'm sorry, he wasn't a doctor, but I always call him Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I'm sorry, Dr. Malcolm X Jr. And I got to stop that. It's Malcolm X. The mentality of the black male in America. And this is personal for me because I have lived on both sides of this subject. But first, I was born on a breeding farm. Okay? In the St. Bernard Housing Project. That was a breeding farm. A breeding farm is anywhere where the government is paying for the females to have food, light, water, gas, a place to stay so that they can attract low-budget males to come in and procreate with them. Okay? And it's a bunch of single mothers, I call them hyenas, that are in charge of all of these children. And all of the males in the community are subservient to these hyenas. Because on the first of the month, their money is the most money that comes into the community. This is also personal for me because I know what it's like growing up as a child to not have a father, and then the state effed up and took me from my mother and gave me to my father. If the state had not made that mistake, my mother would have made a complete killer. The things that she did still stick with me to this day, and still one of the reasons why I wanted to go to the military, to know if I had what it took to get on the battlefield with strong men and kill men and then come home and not be affected. Okay? I'm keeping it real with you right here. Okay? So, in the beginning of my life, I didn't have no daddy. And so I was learning from just my mother. And I was a cold-blooded character. Because you see, she let me know right off top, look, you ain't no big man. You ain't going to be no big man. So somebody mess with you, I want you to just keep backing up looking. And when you find something, I want you to pick it up. And I want you to use it on them. If it's a bottle, she showed me how to break the bottle so I could be able to cut them. You understand? You see, a father is going to teach you how to fight with your fists and allow the person to make it the next day. But a woman's mentality is different than a man's mentality. So once I got a father in my life, I realized that he wasn't a killer, that he wasn't vicious, that his definition of a man was not to be a killer and not to be vicious. But he enjoyed the fact that he had a strong mind and he knew how to fix things and he was interested in learning about things or whatever. And those were things about me that I kind of put on the back burner because, you see, when she met him, he was already formed. So she just took a child that was him and only him and thought that she could make it her. You break a person when you do that. Because he and I are identical in looks, in ways, in everything. Okay? So my mother was light enough to pass for white in her younger days. So look at me. Do you really think that I had her mannerisms, or you really think I had his mannerisms?
Probably both of them.
Later I found out what she just said is so true. But that journey of discovery is for a whole nother show.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now,
dynamics.
No real man wants his son to look up to the mother over the father. Yeah. He wants his son to be like him. Okay? So, any female that's out there that's got a boy looking up to you and not looking up to his father, that would be like a girl looking up to her father and want to be like her father and don't want to be like her mother. Come on now.
It don't work.
Come on now.
Experience that'll never happen.
Come on now. We're not going to let that type of mental delusion procreate in our community.
Yeah, don't do that.
Okay. So, without further ado, I'm going to talk about the house black and the field black.
Yeah.
I don't like any of the N-words. N-I-C-C-A, N-I-G-G-A, N-I-K-K-A.
Yeah. I'm not going to do that.
N-I-G-G-E-R. I don't like any of them. So, for the sake of class, because this is an adult show, and adults, we don't have to use profanity because we're so educated. We can use other descriptive words that are just as deplorable and demeaning, but they have class.
Go ahead, Papa G. Go ahead.
So let's get down with it, you dig?
Get on down.
So you got your house black.
Come on.
Now, he got the scraps from the table.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
As Brother Malcolm said.
Yes, ma'am.
So he got the scraps from the table. He actually ate the food that the master ate. He just got the scraps. Now you got your field black, that's right. He had to steal the food he ate. Or he ate guts. We still celebrate those today. Okay? He ate guts. Not because he wanted to. Not because he wanted to. Because that's all the master would give him. Okay? So while you busy putting how much chitlins is on sale at Walmart, understand the humiliation and the degradation that people suffered that you now celebrate. And you wonder why them people have trouble with accepting the wrong that they done. If you're going to celebrate them calling you the N-word, if you're going to celebrate the abuse and the things that they did by continuing to eat the chitlins like it's a tradition, how are they going to really believe that they done you something wrong? When you looking upon it fondly.
Break the cycle.
The house black, he valued the master. The field black, he hated the master. The house black, he say words like, we, ours. The field black say, them folks. The house black, he's satisfied. He like, we should not leave. You know what I'm saying? They feed us, they clothe us.
On top of the world.
That's right. Where else we gonna have it better than this? you know? Whereas if the field black, he totally unsatisfied with life. You know, he want to escape. He want his independence.
Every day want
He want freedom. That's all he dream about, freedom. When freedom comes.
Freedom.
You know what I'm saying?
Talking about freedom.
Let freedom ring, let freedom ring, you know? But this here is major, all right? The house black, he is few in number. Now the field black,
see,
it's a whole lot of them. It's a whole clickation of them, Jack. You understand? That's how come we can't let Al Sharpton and people like him hijack us, okay? When we clearly see that he getting master scraps. Man, 80 years old, still rocking a perm. Got his hair bone straight. A grown man. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed. Well, to each his own.
Let me tell you something. Rick James and James Brown turning over in their grave. Telling you to stop it. Okay? Look. See that field? You see that field one? He want to assimilate. He want to figure out how he could be just like Massa. You see what I'm saying? Huh? He down with the program. Now, that field black, he don't want to assimilate. He don't want no parts of white people. He just want to get somewhere and raise his children and take care of his family without Cain's children coming to do him something. And they are Cain's children. That house Negro, he was rarely beaten, if at all. You understand me? But now you see that field Negro? Huh? Man, he got beat quite often because he had to be kept in line. You know what I'm saying? And that field Negro, like the house Negro, you know, house Negro wore pretty decent clothes. That field Negro, his clothes was tattered. And so, when I say field Negro, don't think just male. Field hands were female too.
Yeah, field hands are field hands.
Okay?
Male and female.
Because if you wasn't bourgeoisie, you understand me? With the little silky this here and the little pointy nose.
Yeah.
You understand? You had a shovel in your hand or a hoe in your hand. That's right. Get back, black.
Yeah.
You understand? Master done got to your mama.
Yeah.
So all y'all in the field, but you got one sister working in the big house. We all know how the game go. Huh?
Light skin in the house, darkies in the field. That's it.
Look here. See that field hand? Oh, he prayed for Master to always be in charge. He prayed that everything would just stay Dixieland.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you see that field hand? Huh? That field hand prayed for Master's death.
Nah.
And he prayed for the death of all Master's children.
It.
You understand me? A lot of people get these two characters mixed up in history. And I'm going to take this moment, which I've did a whole show about, but I'm going to take this moment right here just to clear it up a little bit more. Sambo was the one who was the overseer. He was the one who kept an eye on the black folks and went and told Massa what they was planning to do, what was going on. So that, see, Massa would give Sambo a day off work if Sambo told Massa about a escape plan or about some theft of some product or something like that, or anything that them niggas out there was doing. If it turned out to be credible, Sambo would get the day off. Good old Uncle Tom was a rebellious Negro. You understand me? He said for black people to kill the white man, get yourself an education, escape away. You know, Uncle Tom eventually escaped to Canada and had his freedom because by that time, you couldn't just escape to the north and get away. They had did the slave catcher act, where it don't matter if that nigga escaped in the North in America, we still gonna catch him and bring him back. Okay, so that's when all the black folks had to run to Canada. Oh, Canada! But the irony in that damn thing is, while the black slaves was running to Canada, the Canadians was busy killing off all the Native Indians that was there. You know what I'm saying? Figure that shit out. Now you see, let me tell you something. Because Sambo is the one they put on the radio, the TV, and everything. Sambo is non-violent. Sambo is Rodney King. Can't we all just get along? Huh? Because I'm going to tell you something. I wouldn't have got on that TV and said that. Stacey Coon and all you coons, I wouldn't have been talking like that. And I wouldn't want no money. My sister wants some money. I wouldn't want no money.
Give me my money.
Let me tell you something. They'd still be repairing California today. You hear me? Katrina ain't got shit on what I would have asked for. You hear me? And Katrina fucked up 4 states.
It's not enough money for what they did to him.
You know? Then you had your field hand. Now, he was violent. Oh, Lord.
He stayed ready.
He lived for the day where he could just take that hoe and just hack Massa all day in the field.
He just visioned it.
Yeah. You know, because Massa would just, you know, the field hand is the one who came up with the term cracker. You know what cracker mean? See, they crack that whip and knock skin off you.
Ooh.
That's right. He was the cracker of that whip. You know, that's where that term cracker come from. Okay? And then you see the field hand, I'm sorry, but the house black, you know, he suffered with acceptance.
Yeah.
Oh, Master just having a bad day today.
Yeah,
he usually don't put this many lumps on my head. He generally just give me 1 or 2. Today he gave me about 8, 9 of them. He must have really been feeling something.
Constipated, Master, constipated.
Yeah, Lord, Master, what can we do to help thee?
You want a woman from the field?
You know?
Get you one.
My daughter about of age.
Yeah.
And then you had your field hand. You know, he was suffering and rebelling. All right? He never accepted the status quo of what was going on in his life. That's how come you don't hear about the house ones running away. Only the field hands run away. Okay? The only ones in the house that run away is the females that's constantly being raped.
Yes, indeed.
Okay? So then we move on. We say the house black, well, we already talked about him being a coward and, you know what I'm saying?
That's complacent, man.
But I want to say something that they both had in common. They were both afraid of the white man.
Yeah.
And they were both afraid of the white woman. And I don't care what you say. Black people are more afraid of white women than they are of white men, because all it takes is for a white woman to scream, the right white woman to scream, and a whole community of black people can be erased. And this is 2024, and that is true. Okay?
I don't like it either, but it's still true.
That's right. Now, that house Negro, he was better educated than the field hand. I will give him that.
He knew how to poison people.
Yeah, he did. He got more access to education than the field hand did. You know. And I'm going to go ahead on and end it right here. And I'm going to do this next segment as a new show that I was going to do, because this ran kind of long and I didn't expect it to go as long as it did. But I want to take this time right here to ask you, if you have stayed this long with me, to please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. And in the future, Mother Richardson is going to have her own channel.
Oh.
Okay? And I'm going to want you to, we'll let you know what that is so you can tune in. And my Cash App is $Gill, Gill, Muse, M-U-S-E. You'll see my picture pop up. And your Cash App is? $DRR24. Okay. And listen, we're doing this on our own free time because we care. So anything that you will send, any donation you will send, we will greatly appreciate, to motivate us and to help us know that we're on the right track and doing the right thing. So until the next time, I just want to say thank everyone for tuning in.
Thank you, everyone.
That's right. This has been
A
an
to
awesome
Z.
show.
Yes.
And
Hope we
until
help
the next,
somebody.
Lord, I really do.
That's our purpose, to help,
Yes.
inspire.
Yes.
Not to degrade, but to lift up. You know.
And if I did help you in any way,
Please
I'm
let
so
us
thankful.
know. Yeah.
Now listen, I'm only here to be with like-minded people. I so much don't care if you don't agree and you have other views outside of the Bible.
Okay.
All right. I feel like that's for you and him to wrestle with, and it's not my issue, not my bag to carry, and I won't carry it. All right. So if you think that you need to contact me to argue with me about the word and about what the word says, you know, I know that my Father Jehovah is much bigger than just the King James Bible, and I don't make him to be just the King James Bible. He rules over this whole world. You understand me? From America to Asia to Europe to Russia, and he has set instruction. And as I've traveled, I've learned those things, and I'm going to implement that in my life. So until the next show, I'm the bad man. Thank you. Enjoy you.